This is Jim. Welcome to Not a Moped Podcast. And welcome everybody to Not a Moped Podcast. We're doing a moped event preview. Yeah. I talked about it a little bit earlier this week with Alex from Detroit Moped Works, and I'm going to be going out to Build and Gather this year. I help facilitate some of the events during the online one, the only one I ever went to, and now I actually get to go and be a part of. And I thought we got a few weeks away before it happens, and it seems like there's people I'm talking to. There's going to be a decent turnout, but maybe for some of us who've never been, I figure we kind of get it from the man himself, the host Chad, kind of the events going on during the time. We have December 8th through the 12th. So Chad, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell everybody how you're doing.
Okay, I'm Chad Burke, and I've got the shop Quarter Kick in Kalamazoo. I've been hosting the Build and Gather event since 2010. I originally started the event just because I had space, I had tools, and I had know-how. And so I figured that was an opportunity for people that don't have one of the three of those or any of the three of those to potentially come to my shop, get to use my tools, and learn how to do some stuff on mopeds. The first event in 2010 was like maybe 35 people, but we had people fly up from Austin, Texas, and it was
That's
really
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
And from there it's only grown. So like when I first threw my event, I didn't really have the type of facility that I've built up over the past 7 or so years. And so I didn't have sandblasting, I didn't have powder coating, I didn't have welding. So each one of those things has kind of slowly been integrated into the event as I've either built the oven or sandblasting cabinets or purchased welders. And so basically the event is an opportunity for people to show up and either hang out with friends that they wouldn't get to normally see during the winter, which is a great thing to be able to do.
Exactly.
Or there's some people that come one year and learn how to do a certain thing, like let's say they learn how to powder coat, and then the next year they come and they help teach someone how to powder coat.
Yep.
So that's kind of the essence of Build and Gather. So you show up, you can hang out, or you can actually help others learn, or you can learn yourself. So there's going to be in the main warehouse space, there'll be several benches and tables set up for people to split engines and grind cases and do whatever type of rebuilding they need. We just recently moved to a new space after being in my old rental space for 14 years.
Yeah.
So this space isn't quite 100%. So I'm still getting stuff together. I still haven't gotten the sandblasting connected yet. I haven't gotten the powder coating oven wired up yet. But those are things that I should be able to get done. At the bare minimum, the powder coating oven and the spray booths will be up and running by the event. I'll have pretty much everything in place to start the sandblasting. I just might have to smack some pipes together and that.
Yeah.
But, there are some options for the sandblasting if I don't get it up and running. There's a place called Consolidated Stripping that's about 25 miles from the shop, and they offer booth rentals, and they're a professional sandblasting place, so their stuff really strips well.
And plus, I mean, I know you say, I'm not meaning to interrupt you, Chad, but I know you're saying like, it's not all set up, and like everybody, I think a lot of people in the community know some of your health issues and stuff like that. And like me personally, I'm going there to like absorb some knowledge, get a little knowledge, and kind of hang out and help set up. Like I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but I was kind of jokingly say, For me, this is gonna be like help Chad put his shop together weekend. Like,
Yeah, and there's been several people that have interjected with that same thought process and that. So um luckily just down the way from us is the Kazoo Makers Space. So they've
mm-hmm,
got, woodworking and laser cutters and 3D printers, and there's an artist that rents space there that has a large studio, and he does everything from drawing to painting to sculpture and that.
awesome.
Well, and he let us just this week borrow his forklift, so
Okay.
that's going to be great for the next couple of weeks as far as getting stuff off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
um Last weekend, a handful of the Zeros from Toledo,
Yep.
one of the Motor City Riot guys from Detroit area, and then a couple of the Chimp Bastards from Grand Rapids
Yep.
all came over and helped get a lot of the bikes put on some of the pallet racking I've got
Mm-hmm.
and assemble some of the new pallet racking I've gotten. So that's really helped get us on our way. Since the last time I threw one of these events, I actually have gotten a couple of pinball machines, so there'll be some stuff for people to entertain themselves aside from the moped stuff.
Heck yeah. I
Um,
feel like instead of people playing dice, people are gonna be playing pinball, like betting on that this
hmm
weekend.
hmm And then so this building is about 6,000 square feet, but then there's like a small basement, and then there's also like upstairs area. So like altogether, it's probably around 6,700 square feet of
Yeah, so
usable space.
that's a pretty big sandbox to play in.
Yeah, yeah, and it's about 1,000 square feet larger than my former space, but much better laid out.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's some really good lounge hangout areas. The old shop only had a hanging furnace in it,
Mm-hmm.
and if someone accidentally smoked out the shop because they didn't pay attention to how they should have been cleaning their frame, like they put like engine degreaser on it and put it in the oven, and then it smoked
Oh,
the face out.
yeah.
I had to open the garage door and let all of the heat from the
Mm-hmm.
whole shop out. In this new space, the upstairs, and there's a downstairs like studio area. That's all on one furnace. Then
Mm-hmm.
there's a repair area room that has its own furnace. And then by the time the event rolls around, I should have the hanging furnace installed up in the warehouse area. So and it's all a lot more compartmentalized.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It sounds like you're gonna have more independent heating. So like,
yeah, it's
you'll
something.
probably see less coats at this one, is what I'm guessing. Because I noticed that a lot in years past, and not that there's
Yeah,
anything wrong with that. I mean, we're in the upper Midwest in the wintertime. I'm crazy. I run around in a t-shirt all the time, but like, yeah, get some of the people from like Tennessee or Texas up here. They're gonna be cold no matter where they're at.
yeah, and I about probably like 8 years ago, I started setting up a 10 by 10 canopy outside of the shop with
Mm-hmm.
a propane heater for the smokers, because there's certain people that just can't be around the smoke.
Yeah.
So that way it gives them a warm space to hang out in, and kind of makes it to where everyone's comfortable. If if you've got, asthma or something,
Yeah.
then you can hang out and not worry about an attack. If you're wanting to have a smoke, you're not sitting out in like 2 feet of snow shivering and that. So
So let's hit pause there for a second. What you're kindly asking people to do is not smoke in the shop, is what I'm
correct.
hearing. Okay,
Yep, yep.
and that's
And that's something
and
that's been at the majority of the build and gather. So
mhm,
it's not taboo or anything that's really new. But for the people that haven't been here before,
yeah,
there will be a separate area for smoking, and that's just to try and be respectful of everyone and
yeah,
that. And honestly, a lot of times that little 10 by 10 canopy room, because it's got sides and everything too.
hmm
Sometimes it's warmer than inside the shop. So,
yeah, yeah, definitely. You get enough bodies in there.
mhm.
um,
Well, in
so
that propane heater.
yeah, 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 don't no doubt, and especially Midwest, you could have 20 degrees and 2 feet of snow one day, and you could have 60 degrees and sunny the next. I
Exactly.
mean,
There's been
we,
build and gathers where people have ridden,
yeah,
because it's actually been that warm.
yeah,
So
yeah. So for the timeline, everybody know I still love my timelines, people. So like, what are you kind of thinking? I know you say the 8th through the 12th, but like, what's the itinerary for you on the 8th? Is it just kind of meet and greet, watch people show up,
well,
or what's the 8th scheduling?
so I used to start it on a Wednesday, but I just
Hmm.
didn't see that much people show up. And part of the reason why I've got that overlap outside of the weekend is because I realized that there are people that have jobs that work during the weekend and can't come during that time. So by opening the event up like a couple days before Saturday, Sunday, and like a day after, that
Hmm.
makes it where the people that might not otherwise be able to attend or participate can still get in there and do some stuff.
That's a rad option. Like I've been 9 to 5 for 20 some
Yeah.
years. I've
Yeah.
never done service industry type gigs. So, but yeah, that's rad. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I try and make it as inclusive as possible. Just like it usually falls approximately 2 weeks after Thanksgiving, 2 weeks before Christmas. And
mm-hmm,
part of that is to accommodate the people that might be in college because they might have exams and stuff like that. And
mm-hmm.
then for the people that have families out of town that might be doing stuff for Thanksgiving or Christmas, it's that like little middle time period where it gives them a better opportunity to possibly pop in.
Yeah, yeah. So is 8th? Well, what would you? What's?
The
Yeah.
eighth is show up, and if you've got a specific thing you're looking to accomplish during the event, you tell me, and I do my best to put you in the right place to start
Mm-hmm.
in on that. So
Right
like,
on.
so if you come in and you're like, I've got everything that I wanted powder coat sandblasted, where am I going? I'll take you over to the area where you can clean your parts and start powder coating them and get going on that. If you tell me you're trying to rebuild an engine, I'll bring you over to where that is and show you where the tools are.
Now let me ask you this: how say people want to show up in powder coat 45 things? What are they doing for powder? Are they expected to buy their own, bring their own? How does that usually go?
Yeah, so with the powder coating now, I have lots of powders that have been donated over the years.
Hmm.
However, you are at the discretion of some other color palette that might not be your ideal dream bike.
Yeah, yeah.
So, so there are colors available for people if they want to powder coat with what I've got here.
Hmm.
But in general, most people will either go to Powder by the Pound or Eastwood or Prismatic is one of my favorites, and they'll order their powder before the event. Usually, a pound of powder is enough to do a frame in general, depending on how much surface area you have. So, like if you have a grande with a subframe in that, you might need more, or you might be breaking it up into different colors. But in
Hmm.
general, just for a baseline for people that have never powder coated before and don't know how much to get, usually you're good with getting a pound.
Okay.
And then always make sure if you're doing a translucent that you need to get the correct base coat that you put the translucent over.
Hmm.
If you're doing a metallic, make sure you kind of follow the guidelines for what you might put under it. And if you're doing like a illusion color, those require a clear coat to activate the color. So make
Yep.
sure you get the clear coat. So you wanna read when you're ordering the powder and see that magical color that you want. You want to make sure that you read what it takes to get that effect.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, and I've painted a lot with electrostatic guns, so like
Yeah.
I can be more. I'm more than willing to help a lot of people with a lot of stuff that weekend. Um, so that's awesome. You got that set up. Friday, like, are you like what's do you take like time off work or like are you gonna be there on Friday? Like how like what's your presence at the shop on like a Friday if Chad Burke's
Okay.
build and
So
gather?
usually throughout the event, like once it's full going. So Friday, I took Friday and Monday off of work.
Okay.
And so Monday, a lot of times everyone's gone in that, but it's either a cleanup day or if there's still people here, I help them. But no, Friday, I'm usually here at like 7 in the morning, and I'm usually here until like a lot of times midnight or 1 or
Yeah.
that. So I'm usually available for like 16, 17 hours a day and that. And I'll leave, sleep a couple hours, come back. And
Yeah.
I try to do my best to accommodate people um, if they're trying to stay here and that. Uh, in previous years, I've had people that have brought campers and stuff and plugged in. If they do that, I prefer if they do a donation for the power,
Yep.
just that. But there's also a lot of space in the shop that can be utilized for sleeping. I've got the upstairs. There's a service hallway behind the upstairs room
Okay.
that because the furnace is in it, it stays about 60 degrees
Okay.
and it's insulated in that. So that it has a couple of shelves in there, but it's about I don't know 6 8 feet wide and probably 30 feet long.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So that'd be an option if people wanted to like throw sleeping bags or that down there. I know some people have gotten Airbnbs.
I think
Um,
some of us are staying at a hotel. Like I talked to Mars. Like I'm gonna go.
yeah,
I'm not. I'm gonna be in the same hotel they're at. So like,
yeah. There's a
yeah,
lot of hotels here in town and a lot near here. Um, some people have reached out to me, and if people reach out, I can try and make space at my home. And that if
yeah.
people need to take showers during the event, um, they can use my
Showers
house.
are not accepted at a moped event. People, come on now. Like,
Well, I mean,
but
this is an extended event,
know
so
what? This isn't a rally either. So I think showers are acceptable.
yeah. In the long run, I will be installing at the new shop a shower,
Hmm.
but I won't have that up and
Yeah,
running.
that nobody expects that.
Yeah.
So Friday, just kind of registration, show up, start working on bikes.
Yep.
Now I'll ask the $100 question. Is there going to be like any food being grilled out, supplied, anything like that going on? Like, and I'm just coming into this blind, everybody. So like,
Yeah.
and for me personally, I'm just throwing the question out. Like, I actually like to eat at local places anyway, so I'll be stepping out a lot to go like breakfast joints. I want good corned beef hash, Chad. So you got to point me in
Okay.
the right direction for that.
I can point you in some killer corned beef hash place. But so in the mornings, we'll probably bring some donuts and some coffee
Hmm.
in.
Nice.
Um, Throughout the event, I've got a popcorn machine both upstairs and downstairs.
Hmm.
I also have a coffee pot that will have coffee going during the event. There's a old 60s Coca-Cola machine that has
Hmm.
beer in it and it
Nice.
accepts dollar bills. We'll probably have some Coca-Cola in it as well for people that don't drink.
Yeah.
Um, so there'll be like snacks and like beverages. Um, there's people that come and grill food and
Hmm.
that like that donate like Joe Kalunga from Grand Rapids oftentimes will like grill egg rolls during the event. Um,
Nice.
I don't know if he'll be doing that this year because he just a couple weeks ago had a heart attack and he's actually wearing the same vest that I am.
Oh, well, I'm
So
glad he's alive. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So he's in recovery, but I don't think I'm not banking on him to be standing outside with a grill making
Yeah.
us all spring rolls.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't
so
blame you.
I don't know on that, but we do have a grill that we could make stuff on
Hmm.
if people wanted to um and there's a
I'm sure with the
microwave
cast of
and stuff.
characters that I know that are coming, there will be a few grill masters in the vicinity.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And then within a short distance of the shop, there's like real divey like homegrown Irish pub that
hmm,
has like lots of fried food and cheap
nice.
drinks.
Nice.
There's a couple of Mexican joints that have really good food. There's just a block or two away from the shop. There's like a Chinese place and there's a Fish Express place.
Nice.
Um,
So definitely you got your food options around Kalamazoo.
yep. Oh yeah, we've got really good food in Kalamazoo. We've got lots of diversity. We've got
Uh huh.
Egyptian and Mexican and Middle Eastern
Nice.
and
Yeah.
Turkish and all sorts of stuff. So we've got a lot of good food in Kalamazoo.
Awesome. Awesome. So Friday, that's kind of going on. Saturday, what's the plan for that? The 10th.
So unlike a rally, the days kind of blur into each other to some
Mm-hmm.
degree because a lot of it is you're doing the same things or you're progressing in the thing that you're doing.
Yep. Okay.
And so like the people that are building will probably show up and start building, and if everything goes well at the end they're going to have a fully completely built something,
Yeah. Yeah.
be it a power coated frame or an engine that was scrap and now it's completely rolling smooth or
Mm-hmm.
that. And then there's the people this year that'll probably be helping with like organizing or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little less like a rally as far as like having the daily itinerary, and
Okay.
it's more like a rinse and repeat on
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah.
And then usually Saturday night is going to be the night that like we do like the raffle. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll do gift certificates and parts, and then at the end we'll have the raffle bike, which
Yep.
this
Yep.
year is a Peugeot Fox Deluxe. Um,
Nice.
and it's got a brand new Parma kit 50cc kit on it, and I've got all the wiring and lights and stuff working. I'm waiting on the I it didn't have spark when I got it,
Mm-hmm.
and I tested everything, like every coil, the pickup, the CDI box, the high tension coil. Everything was testing good. Finally, I disconnected the ignition switch
Mm-hmm.
and started testing that, and I jumpered it and I got things working. So the ignition switch is bad,
Okay.
which is odd because um, Blake from Dos Cycles, before sending it up here, he like it was the ignition switch was working.
Oh
So
wow. Eh.
somehow it just went out. So I've got a new one coming. I just don't know if it's going to arrive in time because it's coming from Germany.
Oh wow.
Um,
Okay.
and I just found out today that they'd been sitting on it. Like I ordered it like a week ago,
Mm-hmm.
but I ordered it and they had like an air filter. So I ordered that and an air filter. But they never shipped the order because evidently that air filter is discontinued and they didn't reach out to me to let me know. So I just this morning at like
Awesome.
7 a.m. uh, got a response because I was like, "Hey, what's my tracking number?"
Yeah.
And they told me, "Oh yeah, about that. The air filter's discontinued. Do you want us to like just ship the ignition switch or cancel the whole order?" And I'm like, "Please ship the
Yeah.
ignition
Just give me
switch."
the damn switch. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So if that doesn't come in time, whoever wins it, I'll just mail it to them.
Yeah.
Um, I got the like old school digital clock on the dash of this thing
Okay.
working.
Nice.
So it's the deluxe model. So it's got electric start, it's got turn signals, it's got horn, it's got a battery, it's got fuel or oil injection, it's got a low fuel light, a low oil light, and then it's got a high and a low beam. So it's
Awesome.
pretty nice, and it's got a kickstart as well, in addition to the electric start.
Well, that's always a good backup to have that kickstart going.
Yep.
So you got the raffle bike, got raffle, gonna have probably all the usual suspects donated to that.
Yep.
And it's just like, and I imagine there's a probably pretty steep drop off Sunday from Saturday.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Saturday night and Sunday night, people start to taper off
Yeah.
and head back and that, and it will depend too on the weather.
Yep.
Um, we've had people in the past that they showed up here and there wasn't a lick of snow at all. It was
Mm-hmm.
like perfectly like gorgeous and dry roads, and
Yep.
then we got slammed with snow like Jesse and Crystal from the Magnetos in Houston.
Hmm.
The first year they came to a building gather, like the roads were gorgeous, and that when they left, they had never driven in snow before, and
Oh
we got
Lord.
slammed with snow. So they got to drive in their first ever snow during that.
I wish I could be a fly on the wall in that vehicle. Jesse just sitting there like old, like 12 and 2 up on that wheel, just screaming his
Oh,
head
I
off.
mean, they by the time they were done with the weekend, they had it down.
Yeah,
So
Jesse yelling, that Chad Burke, he tricked me with this powder coating to get up to Michigan.
so so yeah, sometimes people stay around. I've had people show up on Sunday
Yeah.
for the first day of their like getting into the event.
Hmm.
It really varies. Um, but all in all, it's about, you know, trying to have one space where people can share ideas, share knowledge,
Yeah.
and just share experience with each other. So I also have a big map of the United States that if you're coming here, you can put a pin from where you're
Hmm.
at, and that, which the Midwest is riddled with pins. I almost think there's not everyone that comes from Chicago or Detroit or Grand Rapids needs to put a new pin in,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah,
There's
if
no
you're
more
coming
map
in,
there, guys.
yeah,
Yeah, we get it. There's people.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're coming in and you're from a place and there's not a pin in it, like definitely grab a pin and mark it.
Have you
Um,
had anybody from Minnesota show up to this yet?
I feel like I have a
I
couple
just
years
wondering.
ago.
It's not that
Yeah,
big a deal. I just
but
wondering,
the
like,
thing
because I
also
saw the
too,
map online on Facebook. You
well,
posted it, and I was trying to look to see if anybody was. It's actually gone
yeah,
out.
and so the map I didn't start doing until just about like I want to say 2017, 18. So it's
Okay.
newer,
Yeah.
and the course. So there are people that have been here from other places that there's not a pin in it. Um, so that's something. Also, on when you come to register, if everything clicks in together, and this is a plug for people to register for the event because
Hmm.
we're going to be getting the shirt order in here shortly, and if you don't have your registration in,
Shit, I gotta do that. I'm sorry, Chad.
yeah,
I'm
if you
really.
don't have your
I think I
registration
put
in,
interested on the Facebook event, but I'm like, son of a bitch, I didn't. Okay, Chad.
yeah.
I promise you, when I get done with this and get this edited, I'm going to register.
Okay, yeah. So the registration is both pinned, the registration page is pinned to the Facebook event, and then
Okay.
it also should be linked on Moped Army. So
Okay.
so for the people that don't do Facebook, they
Yeah.
can go to that and see the event and get to the registration. But shortly after Thanksgiving, we're gonna close. Well, we're not gonna close registration, but it's if you don't register by then, we can't guarantee that you'll get the size that you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so, but when you come in and you're coming into the event like Thursday or Friday or Saturday or whenever you get here,
Hmm.
that's when you'll get your shirt and you'll get one ticket for the raffle. You can buy tickets both online on the registration site as well as you can buy them in person. And we've got a pretty good ticket tumbler. And then every year for the past like I don't know 9 years probably,
Okay.
uh, we have like some sort of board or that has a logo for that event for
Hmm.
for like Build and Gather 12 or that
Yeah.
where people can sign their name.
Okay.
So I've got several from previous years that I'll probably have hung up in that. But in addition to like the pins and stuff like that, you can also sign that you were here for that event that year,
Awesome.
which is kind
Yeah.
of fun because there's I think it goes all the way back to the first time I did the signing stuff was in 2012 because I couldn't afford shirts.
Yeah.
So So Angel drew up a gorilla riding a mini bicycle that I've got in the shop, and people signed it on a sheet that I tore up from my house.
Awesome. No,
So,
that's rad.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry for yawning, Chad. I just got off work here a little bit ago, and
that's
I'm
okay.
doing shop work myself. So, like,
Yeah,
yeah, no, that's exciting. I'm excited to do this because, like, I told everybody, this is like the last moped event of the year for me. So, like,
yeah,
which
it
is,
is. It's the last event for a lot of people as far as the calendar goes,
yeah,
and that, and it's one of those events that it's kind of you get out of it what you put into it.
mm-hmm,
It can be different for every single person. At the end of it's similar to a rally in respects to at the end of the weekend you're going to see pictures and you're going to be like, when the hell did that happen? I
yeah,
don't remember that, but you just weren't in that little circle at that time.
yeah,
But um, but definitely we're looking forward to hosting people in this new space in this new building because it's going to allow us a lot more freedoms than the
mm-hmm,
old space. The old space we always had to like tiptoe around the other renters and stuff like that, or we might have been being too loud and they told us to quiet down. This is our own building that's not attached to anything else,
okay,
and I'll before the event starts, I'll post some probably some like satellite shots of the shop and
mm-hmm.
where people can start in on parking and that, and then we'll just kind of address it as we go. As far as if we start to fill up the spaces that I've got pre-slotted, we can do some other spaces, but we have a fair amount of land here that we bought too, so we've got lots of space for cars if need be.
Yeah, just seen the same photos everybody else seen on Facebook. It looks like you got a good chunk of land there, so like,
Yeah.
not too stressed about any of that. And like, whoever people know where I'm staying event at the deal, and like everybody knows they'll probably be piling into my car when they want to get back to the hotel.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
but no, dude, I'm excited. I might bring my baker's bike actually to powder
Oh,
coat.
cool.
But it all depends if I actually get it stripped down. Um, and
Just
I
be careful about putting it in your car.
I'll throw it in the trunk because I'm actually bringing a bike to the event that somebody bought in Minnesota about
Okay.
3 months ago. I'm just a courier, is all I am, and
I
I
was
don't
I was
mind.
mostly I was mostly razzing you about putting your bike in the car.
Well, yeah, I know. No, but I got to add some stuff on, and it's like I
Will you
don't
be
think.
doing bakers this year, this
Yeah,
coming year?
Colby and I
Awesome.
we're already at each other's throats. Like it's the brother I never had, and he
Okay.
feels the same way. Like he's excited for it, I'm excited for it. Like
Awesome.
we're already kind of planning some stuff out just to make just the trip easier on both of us. Like just
Yep.
organizing
Yep.
and all that. Like we're both blind going in, so like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Every time you do bakers, you see something new that you could do different,
yeah.
or you realize that you might have over planned in certain areas and under planned in others.
I think
So
for us it was a lot of under planning overall, but like it was still you do it all the time now.
yeah.
Like it's still such a great experience. Like
Oh yeah, it's phenomenal. I mean, this coming year, barring anything keeping me from it, it will be my sixth year doing it. And that, so I have no plans to stop doing
yeah.
it.
And
As
I'm
far as
so
my
grateful
household.
for Patrick's little video synopsis every day. Like
Yeah,
those are like I was telling Maitland, like between me and Cowboy attempting to do a recap every day, and especially Patrick's
real.
digital con reels
Yeah,
every day, like it was so awesomely covered this past year.
yeah. He's done a phenomenal job with the reels. And
Mhm.
back as far as build and gather goes, if anyone has like a Zoom account that wants to try and host some virtual stuff, um, I probably won't be able to coordinate that like I did in 2020, which was the first time that we did virtual.
Mhm.
And there are people that participate in that one that would like to have some sort of level of participation in this, like Rebel Moby. There's a
Yep.
couple people from Europe that enjoyed that. So like I was going to talk to like the Zero Sum and you and
Yeah.
that. So if there's people that are interested in doing some like live, you know, casting,
Yep.
um, and that we can throw links up on the event page and that, and possibly on the, I don't know, Moped Army is more cumbersome because there's not like an easy way to do it real time.
Yeah.
Um, but try and get some links up in that to help people that want to see what's going on and participate and can't be here physically.
Yep.
That's a request I've had, is that they really, the virtual one that we did in 2020 with COVID, sparked a lot of interest from people that just don't have, it's not feasible for them to make
Mm-hmm.
it here. So now I'm trying to figure out more ways to, in the future, incorporate the people that can't be here into the event.
Yeah. And I'll talk to you off after this. Like, I got a few ideas to help out with that, but like,
Okay.
personally, me and just like you, like, it's like trying to do a podcast at a rally. Like, I'm too busy running around doing
Yep.
stuff. Like, that's
Yep.
kind of where I'm at. I'm trying to be accommodating for everybody, but also like have some enjoyment too with it.
Well, yeah,
But
and that's kind of why I'm reaching out, that to people that might be interested in that as part of their contribution.
yep,
And it doesn't have to be all one person, so it
yeah,
can kind of get handed off and that. And I think that'll also lend itself to a different perspective with different people doing different things and handing
hmm
off that type of task.
yeah. No, that's a great idea. But no, it sounds like things are gonna getting back to normal almost. Like
Yeah,
so,
yeah, I feel as though they are,
yeah.
in the respective pandemic world.
Exactly, exactly.
So
But no, it'll be I'll probably be getting there sometime late Friday. It all depends how I do my work schedule, but like I'll
yeah,
definitely be there Friday, Saturday, and go back to Minnesota Sunday. So it'll be great to see all of you in Kalamazoo. See you and Patrick again.
yeah.
It's
How long
yeah.
is the drive for you?
I think it's 9 hours, which isn't terrible. Like
Okay, that's not at all.
I don't mind driving. Like that
Yeah,
was a nice thing about like back to Baker's, Colby and I. Like neither one, we just shotgunning the whole way
hmm,
home, and like we got home in a day. But like driving is what it is. Like sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's North
it's
Dakota.
work. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No, like for us driving back from Baker's this year from Portland to Kalamazoo, it was 3 days of like 12-ish hour days of
yeah,
driving and that. So,
yeah. No,
this
and
year it'll be
you
nice
guys did it
because,
smart. Like Colby and I drove like 8 hours to his mom's place in Oregon,
oh,
spent the
okay.
night, got up, saw some of his family members, and left. It was I forget where exactly his family is at. There, it's not where they're originally from, but they're all at a town in Oregon. And 30 hours later, we were back in Minnesota. Like we just,
Yeah.
I refused to stop. Basically, is what happened.
Well, I talked about doing like 2 long days and I got vetoed. So, but it was nice because like on the way back, we ended up getting, like, there wasn't a lot of places to rent a room or that,
hmm
and we found this place called Mountain View. Was it Wyoming, or I think it was in Wyoming, southern Wyoming.
Okay.
But we got like this little cabin for the night,
Oh yeah,
and
I remember seeing something you guys posting about that.
yeah, and
That
they
was
had like an
awesome.
awesome fireworks display, and it
hmm
was just like really chill and nice and
Yeah.
relaxing.
Colby and I actually drove by Arco again, and Pickles was closed because we were
Oh,
really curious if they had fried pickles back. Like that was a great mystery to us, but we'll never know.
yeah.
But no, dude, this can be a great weekend. We'll chit chat a little bit after, but
Okay.
Chad, thanks for coming on Second Chance Moped
Hey, no
Podcast.
problem.
We'll
Thanks
see
for
you in a week
having
or so, and don't forget, Chad, mopeds are dumb.
me.
Talk to you. Bye.